So this episode is going to tell you why you need to start your podcast in 2026. And amongst all the facts and figures we're going to give you, Ben's going to cough, splutter and sneeze because bless him, he's not feeling very well. We need to get him through this. But it's a great episode, so come and have a look.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Be the Hero of Your Brand. I'm Ben.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're the team here at Your Video Team, also known as the podcast people.
Yeah, we are.
All right.
Happy birthday. I know this isn't going to be evergreen because I'm singing you a birthday, but it actually is the day of recording your birthday.
It is. And it's going out the day after, hopefully, if I get back and edit it. And I'm not feeling well.
No, I know, Bob.
I don't know if anyone can tell by the sound of my voice.
But why?
I've got sniffles and a cold.
Yeah, you started going down at the weekend, didn't you? And I thought, come on, you can do it. You're not an illy person. But it's got you.
I'm trying to fight through it.
Oh, maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe we should just let it get you. Have what Danny would call a burrito day. Disappear in your covers.
I'll go home and do that, yeah?
Am I doing a webinar on my own then?
I've not got everything. Oh, yeah, got a webinar planned.
So, yeah. What's our webinar about?
It's about, and it's the same topic as this episode.
That's why I asked. It's like we planned
Why you should be starting a podcast in 2026.
Mm-hmm. But we're not going to give you all the secrets here. You should have been on the webinar.
Well.
But we're going to tell you why.
Why. We're going to go over why, or past trends, what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Why now is the right time for people, and really it's needed. And also what to expect when it comes to you start a podcast. What will you start to see happening? Time frames may differ, but
so not what to expect, like as in what you need to be putting in.
No, not necessarily the content that you're because
not content. I mean, like I say time and stuff. Obviously, we're all about stopping people having to spend loads of time on it. But if you're doing it on your own, which you're very well to do, and you are capable. How much time it would take someone. But we're not touching on that.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not going to tell people how long it takes to film an episode and stuff like that because there's ways of speeding it up and stuff.
Whole other episode, right? Of like, this is how you can record an episode. This is how quickly you can get that done. These are the quick wins and processes.
Yeah, these are the tools that you can use to help you with that.
Indeed.
But let's talk about what has been happening. You might need your phone for this with some notes potentially, but you might not.
Oh, that's under my leg. It's under there somewhere. Why?
Because I've got notes.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping you had the notes too, but I didn't tell you to get the notes.
No. Okay, that's cool. What have we been up to?
Go on.
You wanna? Well, I can tell you.
What have we been up to? You want me to tell people what we've been up to?
I don't know. Who's telling who? You tell me, babe. What have we been up to?
We have been out and about. We went to higher voltage. Oh my
Are you
goodness.
okay? You want to go for that nap now? We went to Christine Gritman's higher voltage event. I've never been to an event so perfectly curated. Like I love going to two events, those business events, and especially ones where I say they're a bit different. Like you're not sat in a room and someone's just talking at you all day long, and it's one person.
No, it felt like a community event, really.
Yeah.
Like lots of people, people in the audience were sounding up, saying their side of views. There was lots of stuff that you could easily take away and action as well from it. I thought it was a very good event. And we were only going to be there from 5:00 just to set up a podcast studio.
Yeah.
But we decided to go up earlier.
Well, if you're going to go to these events, well, also there's an element of we were going to the event with the studio so that we could interview people at the end of the night I kept calling it the VIP dinner. Everyone was a VIP there.
Yeah.
It was the after party, sort of a soiree at the end. But there's no point us being like, if you want us to be interviewing and asking those questions, I need to know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we rocked up and we're there for the day.
Yeah.
And it means the interview flows
and there's
easier.
loads of value in it as well. Being there all day, learning from the speakers that were there.
I mean, I took away loads.
Yeah.
But again, it's not about, there was loads to take away, but all Christine said was, what's your one action from each speaker? And we had
I don't think it was even that. It was just what's your one action
of the day
from the whole day. But I think that when you were talking to people and I was listening, they all seemed to have 2-3 things, like you say, one from each speaker that they could action.
There wasn't overwhelm. there wasn't overwhelm. That was the biggest thing. Like I've been to events. I remember the first time coming back from, Atomicon, which I didn't know anything about. That was 2 weeks prior. Got a ticket and I went. And I came back and was absolutely buzzing out of that. It's what's called a multi-track event. So there's 4 rooms going on at the same time. So you pick which room you want to go and listen to and things like that. And also the first ever event we'd been to of this sort of thing. Like I didn't know events like this existed where they were fun.
Yeah.
I just thought they were boring. But we didn't know at the time how to manage an event like that. So I just came back and was like, it was amazing. We need to go, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then just crashed for 3 days afterwards and was like melting. Whereas now we know how to manage those events and those larger events. But this was aimed at solopreneurs and like micro businesses, like 1-2 people. We were the perfect clients really for it as well, target audience.
Yeah, they were for like single people businesses, but it's not like the mentality was you're only staying as. It was you're growing to be.
Well, hang on a sec, because it was that, but it was how you can be big still as a solopreneur, and then also giving people permission. We go into a lot of rooms and people are like, what's your goal? Where do you want to be? All of that. And that's quite like, oh gosh, I have to get bigger. I have to grow. And actually this was one of those rooms where it gave you permission to go, what do you want out of your business? I just needed to pay me so I can have nice holidays. Mm-hmm. Great. And then that's it. There wasn't that expectation of, you have to have a multi-million-pound business and you have to do this and have to do that. Like people in that room were like, if all you need is for it to pay you and you want a nice holiday every year, crack on. Just make your business what you need it to be. So yeah. So but again, it could be like we can take a lot more out of it and go, cool, I can take that action, and how am I going to be a millionaire? So, but yes, that's what we've been up to. Now let's talk about what we are going to. So obviously we said we're doing a webinar, which as of recording is the same day as this recording, but it's about why starting a podcast in 2026 is one of the smartest moves you could make. Not me.
Well, you, business owners, coaches, people in general, but we are targeting business owners and coaches and people like that, people who want to grow an audience to start building relationships. Some facts and figures. Do you want to know some facts and figures?
I'll have a fact and a figure.
Okay, so there is currently available to people over 5 million podcasts.
Well, I already have like, it's not choice overwhelm, but like...
Yeah, but that is since...
Decision fatigue.
That is a lot of podcasts there just sitting there dormant as well. No one's added. Active wise, it's about 750,000.
So from 5 million available podcasts, there's only actually 700,000 that are. So it's not. No, I'm not doing it.
No, I'm not doing it either.
Less than a fifth. I can do that.
10. It says 10 to 16% on what my calculations have told me. I'm too tired and too not well to figure out if that's correct or not.
Oh yeah, no, that would be, wouldn't it? Because 10% of 5 million would be 500,000.
Yeah.
So between all right, I'll let it have that, and it's not quite a million, which would be 20%. So I'd go for about 15%.
Thank you very much. I couldn't figure it out.
No, and you're the math man out of both of us.
So and like the reasons why they have failed is well, most of them have like 3 episodes. Something like 53% of them is only 3 episodes.
Well, I love this stat that we give, and you may have heard it a number of times, is that if you get past the first 3 episodes, you're in the top 90% of podcasts. If you get past episode 21, you're then in the top 1%. Yeah, I might have said that a bit weird. So basically, if you get past episode 21 of your podcast, you are in the top 1% of podcasters. And I went to an event and a lady was like, oh, I've only done like 50 episodes. I might quit. And I was like, are you joking?
No,
Like,
and that's what a lot of people
going.
do. A lot of people quit because they think there's no traction happening, but they're not necessarily using it to be found in other ways. Like podcasts, if you just put them out on podcast platforms, aren't discoverable.
Well,
No one's got, unless they know what your podcast name is, or they know what the title of an episode is, or they know who you are as the host. It may be discoverable, but till then, no one's looking for you, so they're not going to notice it. You're going to have to feed it to them in different ways.
Well, we did exactly this with the kids, right? We were on a long car journey, and I mean, I remember sitting on long car journeys as kids, and you just did it. Like, that was about it. Like, there was maybe a bit of colouring. Yeah, you might play a bit of I Spy, but ultimately you just sat and listened to the music and stuff. But our brains aren't wired that way, and especially the kids' brains aren't wired that way anymore. You've got to kind of try and keep them entertained. So we were like, right, let's put a podcast, let's put something interesting on to listen to that we can all kind of get involved with at the same time. And it's a really good test to do on yourself as well, is we went on to ChatGPT and said, right, we're a family of 4, we've got these interests, this tell me a podcast we could listen to, or give me a list of the top 5 podcasts I could listen to based on those facts and stuff. And it gave us some, and one of them was a really silly science one about animals, and it was like snakes versus owls. And then but there were like interactive moments within the episode where we would vote. Oh, I would vote owl on that. I would vote snake. I don't know, that sort of thing. So like you say, but I then had to go into the podcast platform, find the name of it and do it. I wouldn't have been able to search for that in the podcast. I had to go to AI.
No, and you can look at, so AI does help you find stuff, but also they're becoming a lot more visual now. So they're being put on places like YouTube, which is a discovery platform. It is a search engine.
Right, yeah.
Technically the second biggest search engine on the internet after Google. But
it's owned by Google. I don't think that counts.
No, it's still true. It's still the fact. But obviously saying those sort of figures, like there's 5 million podcasts out there, it sounds like it's something that is flooded, like there's too much of. But the truth of the matter is, because there's so many just sitting there doing nothing, they're not doing anything for the person who put it there. The audience aren't finding it anyway. So it is just wasted. And then you look at 750,000 active ones. Yeah, you've got your big ones like Diary of a CEO. You've got Joe Rogan. You've got those big, massive podcasts that people listen to week in, week out. The rest is politics, I think, is a massive one as well. Mm-hmm. But then you go and look at like the business-specific ones, which are smaller, and they are getting more popular because business owners, being entrepreneurs, is a growing thing as well. Yeah. Along with podcasting, entrepreneurship is a bigger thing than it has ever been in the past. And people want to learn how to do it. They want to hear stories from other people. They want to know how tax people work, how accountants do their job, and find out how they can influence their business, or they're looking to start a franchise.
We're using it as an educational, as a learning tool now as well. And exactly that. So how do I start my business? So literally just going into Spotify or once you've found a podcast that you can listen to, is step by step taking you through that. And that's when the podcast hopping is coming in, because like, oh, okay, so I've done that part. I'm going to go listen to this accountant, or then I'm going to go and listen to this marketing podcast.
Then someone like Chris Stowe, who's got the Future podcast. It's all about how you market, how you brand, how you price. You've got Gary Vee, who goes, this is how you build your brand, build your personal brand, make yourself more visible. You've got people like John Lamerton, who goes, this is how this business done it, this is how that business done it, this is how you can take stories from each.
And also remembering as well, like this is what we say, is it doesn't matter about like the fact you're recording and putting them out weekly, and people are a bit like, oh yeah, but you know, it's only once a week. But it's not. Someone might stumble across your podcast when you've already got 100 episodes out there. Yeah. So we listened to a podcast, we fell behind with it, and so now we're binge listening, theoretically. So every day we listen to an episode of the podcast, like I'm almost frightened to catch up with them because I know it won't be long for us. But there is that element, or like I say, multi-listening as well. Like Mondays, I'm listening to my building the business bit. Tuesday is my accountancy one. Wednesday is my branding one. So again, like there are options. Others can listen. You can listen to a podcast whilst you're editing. Like, you know, some will listen while they're at the gym. So I get there isn't that much competition out there for you.
Not really.
Because again, like car journeys, gym, and like being at the gym, car journeys, people working at the desk.
And they're probably people listen to this thinking, okay, so there's 750,000, but how many people are actually listening to podcasts? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, it's over 500 million. Over 500 million, 584 million people in 2025 listen to podcasts. That's a massive number.
Yeah, I know. I'm working out all the commas.
Businesses are going, oh, but will we stand out? It's like, well, if you're thinking about average of how much they're listening to, it's 7 to 9 hours a week.
Yeah, and again, but like I listen to meditation to go to sleep at night. But it took me a long time to find the right voice, right? Mm-hmm. Like people there could be 10 different podcasts, but you might not like their voice. You might not like the dynamic. They might talk too techie. They might talk too dumb. They might simplify. You might be further along in your journey.
Yeah.
Like you might love the people that are hosting it, and so that's why you listen. Even, do you know, like, and that's
essential to go. This is who my audience is. So if you go, my audience are further along in their business journey, or their whatever I offer or whatever I provide, they are further along. They do understand the lingo. So you're going to talk to them in that way that they understand and know, and not be, let's make it really simple for them, because they're going to feel like, no, you're not the right person for them. Either you're not in the position where they need to do, they're not catching up with you, they are ahead of you or equal to you, so they don't see you as the ideal person. So when you know who your target audience is, it makes it a lot easier to go, this is the content we're making for those people, which is why we specifically say about business coaches, business owners, and brands who want to be building relationships with audience members.
People as well, and it's the people that want to build that relationship, that want to say, this is who I am, this is what our business does, this is how I can support you, this is my expertise. It could be just talking straight to you. It could be also like bringing on experts as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we do a lot of marketing and support businesses with their entire marketing strategy and stuff, but we don't do that alone.
No.
So we could then start bringing in the partners that we work with, and you get to meet more of the team. Then you could maybe meet businesses that we've worked with and changed things for them. And so we come on and we get a case study, but you go a journey, but the audience goes on that journey with them as well. So it's just, I mean, we're advocates, right? But it's just everything you need.
Yeah. And of course, we said it before in a previous episode, is that podcasting is always an audio first platform.
Yeah.
But
love you, Louise Brogan.
But we're doing it as a video. Many people are doing it as a video. Platforms are pushing it more. So if you have it as a video on YouTube, it is a lot more discoverable. Spotify viewership has doubled year on year.
Okay.
So
because you can watch, I still don't think enough people know this, right? You can watch podcasts
and music videos.
Oh, okay. So you can watch podcasts and music videos on Spotify now because they've opened up their platform to video. But what I love about Spotify for creators is that when you upload the video, it extracts the audio
and
then puts it out on all the audio platforms. So again, when we talk about ease of, but I've got 10 platforms to put it on. No, you haven't. You got 2.
Yeah. Yeah, YouTube and Spotify.
And only if you're doing it visually. If you're doing it audio only, just do it to Spotify. If you're doing it to YouTube, I've never really bothered saying to audio only to YouTube.
You can do it, but you can do it through the RSS feed still.
I know,
if you're doing audio only to YouTube, you can use an RSS feed for it. But I would say, why bother with audio?
Well, I get that because no one watches the screen, and unless you're paying for YouTube. You can't lock your screen and listen to it at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's pointless.
So the only other way of doing it is having it so you have it as a podcast playlist, not as a playlist on YouTube, and then it goes onto YouTube Music as well. So locking it is possible.
And then I can lock them.
And also, if you are using video, helps you with clips, helps you with marketing the podcast episode.
Yeah.
So you can get shorts out of it and put that onto YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, build your visibility that way. Because especially if you're starting out, a full podcast episode isn't going to get watched easily. So it's about taking out the nuggets and the golden bits that you can share with an audience, and they start gaining a bit of eyeballs and tractions that way, and really see that you are an expert, but in the shortest form possible, which will then get you a lot more people coming to you and finding out about you, potentially watching full episodes. But I'd say the podcast itself isn't top of the funnel kind of content. It is relationship nurturing, middle of the funnel kind of stuff.
Well, we know someone who has only ever released their podcast audibly, but records it every time. So does a video Zoom recording, basically. That's how they've always done it. And because they were like, well, I'm just not interested in having to deal with all the editing side of things and the creation of all of that. So whereas it's easy to just take the sound and run with that. However, they would promote the podcast by taking a visual clip out, putting that on their Instagram thing, doing a link to the audio version. So that was quite clever. I'm really proud now because they have invested and they are leveling up their podcast, and I'm excited to see that happening. Because now they've gone, okay, I get it. I'm gonna invest in the next level, and they've got a 2-camera podcast set up. So exciting.
And with these trends, all they're doing is looking to grow more. So the audience is going to get bigger. They're expecting by 2027 it's going to be over 620 million listeners. The amount of podcasts I think will reach a record high. The highest it was during COVID in 2020, 2021, where everyone was doing a podcast. And then that majorly dropped off. But I think we're going to start getting to those sorts of numbers now. And it doesn't mean that you have to be scared. It just means that there's an opportunity for more collaboration, more opportunity to share audiences, a lot of more being visible by reaching out to people who are at a similar level to you, but has a different audience.
Well, look at it like a bookstore, right? You don't walk into a bookstore and go, oh, someone's already written a business book, or someone's already written a book on like a children's book and things. People go, no, I want to write a book, so I'm going to write a book. And that's what they do. So go do it for a podcast. Like it is exactly the same mentality. You don't walk into a book or a book. You don't walk into a bookstore or a library and go, it's too many books. I don't want this competition. Yeah, people don't do that.
I think you've hit a really good point there.
Thanks.
When you talk about people who write books, they're telling a story that's already been told, but from their point of view. Now, and this is a reason why people should be doing podcasts, is because it's the easiest way to get long form content. So much content now is created by AI, using AI, and that AI is now teaching itself everything as well. So if it's being fed the wrong information and it's training itself on that information over and over again, it feeds out the wrong information, it's going to just be a bad thing for itself. Where if you're having a podcast, you're having a conversation, you're having human elements added to it. And yes, there are podcasts that are fully AI.
I know, it's magic.
In fact, I did pretend to make one the other day just to see what it was all about. So yeah, and it does sound like someone's talking. It's a bit ropey.
Yeah. But again, only when you're listening out for it, right? Like,
yeah.
We watched a video that was fully AI generated, the whole video, but we didn't know until right at the end when he said, and I bet you didn't know, this was a fully generated AI video. And then it was his laugh. Yeah. I was like, ee. But he then did a video about making that video, didn't he? And he says at these points you can hear how I say words funny, like Mr. It would like Mr.
Well,
because it thinks it's a word, and it's like it's not a word.
Yeah, there's like Brendan Kane wrote a book called something like The Art of Going Viral. hang on, it might be there. The Guide to Going Viral. Now that's on YouTube. That's on YouTube for people to watch and listen to. But he trained AI his voice and got it to read the whole book. And you hear it when he mentions someone like Mark Rober, and it's Mark Robber. Oh, that's a weird name, a weird way of saying that. And it took me ages to figure out that it was actually AI.
Because also a normal human thing to do, right? Like
you read it as you see it, kind of thing.
Yeah, but like again, I have got people's names wrong.
Yeah,
because I've read it how I've seen it.
I think how I figured it out was he said robber, and then a paragraph later he said rober, and I was like, oh, so he does. This sounds not right. And then I looked into it. It's like, oh, it's generated by AI. But it's interesting. But that is all stuff that's being taught to AI to go and start, and then AI is kind of reproducing that stuff again and again and again, when really human stories, human emotions add more to the reasons. A business coach is a business coach is a business coach. No, they're not all the same. They have different experiences, they have different stories, they have different beliefs.
Different specialities.
Yeah,
different.
And that's what AI doesn't have. You can teach it and tell it, but it's, Teresa Heath Waring was talking at higher voltage,
yeah.
And she was saying how the difference is that AI is, people say AI sounds like them, but it isn't. It sounds generic. It's like horoscopes. They sound generic.
Don't you start. But no, she said the language is getting dullified because ultimately we're like, yeah, that sounds like me. It's like, it doesn't. It sounds like everybody else because everybody sounds like everybody now because we're all using AI to write everything out. Such a bland statement, I'm well aware of, because we're all using it. I know that's not the case. But in that sense, there's a lot of people doing it. And so all our language is becoming the same. And it's like, it's almost frustrating, isn't it? I don't want to use phrases like, know and trust. Confused myself then because I said like, know and trust. Yeah. I don't want to use that phrase, or, well, are you being authentic? Like, because you just get to the point when you're like, oh, everyone's saying it, everyone's doing it. And it's just so frustrating. But that is because the language that's being given and being pushed in front of us all the time is the same language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there are times where the same language is needed, but really it is about adding your stories to stuff. And that's what podcasts will allow you to tell you more stories, show that you are the expert at what you do through that. And you do use AI to help. Like, I used AI to help me research.
Yeah.
I've used AI to give me bullet points so I know exactly what I'm trying to hit, what I'm trying to say. But I'm still giving the information that I've learned and read about and know about and gone deeper into it and gone, oh, that's interesting. Let's have a deeper dive into what other people are finding. So looking at what Spotify have looked into, because I've gone into that and read it myself, so to make sure I do know the numbers, the figures and all that sort of stuff. But AI shouldn't be the all-knowing kind of thing that people go to. Your podcast can be that extra bit of knowledge that someone can use to help them grow their business, their experience, and see and be guided in a way that's going to inspire them to do it, to take the steps.
Well, how good is it when you're in a room of 10 people and all those 10 people want you, right? Like, but when you go into a room of 1,000 people, there's still only 10 people that want you. They're much harder to find, right?
Yeah.
This is what your podcast can do, is filter out the 990 that aren't interested in you. And those 10 people will come to you rather than you have to go to them.
Yeah.
It's that, isn't it?
That's the next point, is how the podcast is going to help people. It's going to make their clients or potential clients, their leads, to say yes quicker.
Prospects. I like that word lately.
Prospects. Yeah, but it makes them say yes quicker because...
Well, we saw it with
actually, not necessarily quicker, but with less of your time trying to come. Like, you're not spending more times on calls. And we said it before when we had a conversation the other day.
I was speaking to someone the other day, and they said that for every 2 phone calls that they had, they were converting 1. So it was a 50-50 ratio, right? Now they have to have 6 conversations to convert 1.
And that's because of the way it works over time now, isn't it? Not.
But that's 5 times more work you're having to put in.
Yeah.
But 5 times more work you're having to put in for the same results. So how can you put in that work without putting in that work?
Well, it's yeah.
You're given more touch points.
What other questions you're answering all the time?
Yeah.
Make content about that. Like people ask us, why do we need a podcast? Well, hopefully this is going to tell you a bit.
Help you.
So, or next episode where we talk about how to structure a podcast episode, because people ask us how do you.
You've said it now. You've got to remember that's our next episode, right?
Oh, I'll try.
But I mean, Daniel Priestley says it as well. He talks about from the Google
4711.
like how many touch points now you've got to have. Used to be 6, has gone up, or 7. Used to that fallen off the earth as well, isn't it? Has now gone up to like 27 touch points, which again is why your podcast can fuel those 27
And the chances
points.
are that it will potentially be more than that in the future because of so much AI being used. The
We're
amount of
also
stuff that people will look.
distrusting as well, right?
They'll look, oh, that's a beautiful thing. That's AI.
I
Oh, is it? Or is that actually an artist who's able to create that?
Yeah, I did it. I had an email from someone, and immediately I went old school. I immediately Googled them, went finding a website, do all these like, are you a real person? And it turns out my Nigerian prince has got $19 million for no. But, it is those sorts. However, again, because of AI, also very easy to mimic all of that stuff now.
It's scary. And that's why you need to have real human relationships being made. Again, a podcast is that thing, and a visual podcast. A visual podcast. It's because I read vodcast earlier, and I hate that name. I immediately wanted to jump off a cliff when I read that. But
Vlogcast.
Vodcast.
Ooh, I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either.
I got vlog. I understood that analogy.
Yeah, but not vodcast. I didn't like that.
No. Don't do that one to me.
But what will you see when you start a podcast? What are your first goals when you start a podcast? So it really is to embed yourself as the expert so people can know, like, and trust you. But then you'll get asked to go and talk on other podcasts, be asked to talk on stage in front of people. And this isn't just our experience, this is the experience we've had with our partners as well. You'll get to have customers say yes a lot quicker, a lot sooner. Again, it's not quicker, it's not sooner. It's by the time they're talking to you directly, they're a lot closer to the yes than
less one-to-one contact.
Yeah, so you're not having to do 5 calls to get 1 yes. You're doing, and this is how it worked for a partner of ours, is that they were getting 3 calls a month, converting one of them a month, and then by the time that they done 2 series of their podcast, they were then getting 5 calls a week, converting 4 of them. So, and they're talking on more stages. They're getting more
they were invited
audience.
more because they were seen as that expert. They were putting themselves out as that expert.
Yeah.
And so it was like, wow, this person's talking. Like, they're happy to tell to us about this conversation. Let's get them going. Let's bring them into our orbit. So again, it's also taking you in front of other audiences. And
it's also bringing the audience to you when they're ready to find your thing. If it's on YouTube and they're looking, how do I start a podcast? And we've got a podcast from 2 years ago about it, they will potentially find that first.
Yeah.
Or if or you talk about something today, 5 years down the line, you're the expert in that industry and they're looking back at that and seeing where you've come from to where you are. That journey itself, where they get to see that expert, that rise as well.
That proof of the pudding.
Yeah, there's so much that it's going to do for you and you don't even need to do it right. You just need to start it. Like, remember, it's audio first. Podcasts are always going to be audio first. So if you're going, look at this when it's someone's ears, they can't see that. So you have to explain it. So I might be talking about, so there's an episode guide that we have. In it, you get to break it down into what the title is, the people you've got on there, the subjects you're covering, the questions you're going to ask. You write your hook out. You explain every step of it. And then people can envision that if they are just listening. Because yes, close to 40%. It's 39% actually. 39% of people are watching them, but there's still 61% of people are just listening.
Yeah.
There's some people who are doing a crossover of both, but the majority of it is that kind of breakdown. So you got to be explaining things to people in a way that they can picture it in their mind's eye, not just by looking at the screen. The video side of element is for a personal connection, I feel.
Well, you also have to think about things like if you're you might have to correct me on this one, but if you swear and you're comfortable doing that and that's how you do it as well, fine, crack on. But if you then want to monetize, that could cause a difference there, isn't it? Because there's a podcast we listen to who have now gone over visually, but they bleep everything now because they want to monetize from it. And it's just so, we've gone, immediately we were like, no, we want the full, raw, audacious you. We want to listen to you, warts and all the swearing that goes in between. And also because there's a lot, sometimes there's a lot of swearing.
So much.
There's sometimes a lot of swearing. So when you're watching it, you're like, beep, 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 and you think,
like that Amen song from back in the day.
What's the point of this? So again, if you know, because again, we worked with one partner. We've worked with a partner who we got them to the point that they'd had enough watch hours, enough subscribers through their content that they were then able to monetize their channel. But if there's loads of swearing all over it, YouTube doesn't like that.
No, there are levels, like say some small words, that's fine, but you start getting to the big heavy ones, it's gonna criticize you. It's gonna be like, no, yes, against our guidelines. You don't like it, it's naughty. Community
standard.
But if your goal is to make money through ad spend, make an entertainment one, not a knowledge-based one. To be a business and have a podcast, it is to get stronger relationships with your current leads, so they're buying from you, or you have a community. It
becomes a bonus, really, doesn't it? Of if you do get to the stage, or when you get to the stage of being able to monetize your channel, you can't rely on that. That's not, if someone came to us and said, I want a podcast because I want to monetize it, I'd be like, that's not what we're about. We are about that relationship building and things like that. It's not.
If you're looking to monetize for ad spend, then no, we're not about that. If they're looking to partner with people, then potentially, but really it's kind of, why does your audience want that?
But we produce the Kent Business Show, and there is the opportunity, like that can be monetized because we offer sponsorship within the podcast. So again, like people can sponsor a season on that. Their advert goes in, but is embedded in the video. So that way it's not going anywhere either. And also it's evergreen. So ultimately that advert sits inside that episode for the next forever, unless we really go back and cut it out. But we're not going to, unless they turn around and say, well, that was only an offer for then. But we would also advise them, don't make an offer for them. Like, tell them about your business. This is about promoting your business.
I think the key thing is, when it comes to your podcast, is you could overthink it and be like, I haven't got the stuff, I haven't got the nice studio, which studios are available to hire if you want it in the studio. But it's audio first, so invest in microphone and use your phone as a video source. Even if you just film it vertically and just use it for clips and then release a full episode for people to find later on audibly only. But just start sharing your knowledge, your information, start educating more people, start educating AI a bit more as well. So, and that is actually something that will happen over time. If you're talking about a subject, I said, we're going all in on teaching people about podcasting. If you teach, AI is going to become the main form of search potentially taking over Google. It depends how Gemini does compared to OpenAI and Claude and all the other platforms. Which one's going to take the biggest piece of that AI pie? But you're going to become the known expert, which AI is going to feed to people as well.
Well, here's a test for you, right? Google yourself. Google your business. Okay, and then you'll come up. I'm not doing it for that reason.
I'm not even on page one.
You're not, as a person, when you Google Ben Bryant. No, I was all over it. But again, that shows a difference, right? Like, I've been putting myself... You've taken a while to come to the forefront of the business. It wasn't your forte.
Also, there's There's movie producer called Ben Bryant. There's an American footballer called Ben Bryant.
Excuses, bud. Like, you're not there. So you need to build yourself up. You need to get above them, right? But go Google yourself. But then go over to your AI search engine. And I did this with us. And I was like, I'm looking for a podcast studio in Kent. Can you help me? And I did it simple. And then I did, can you find me one that does this, that offers this? So that offers a full production team, things like that. And I was really proud that we actually got quite highly rated. Like, we were in the top 5 every time. I think in one we were even a top 3.
Nice.
So yeah, do you know? But then when I went to the UK, that felt a bit sadder because we weren't coming up with quite
the
a
hard
top.
thing, yeah.
But
when you're looking at major cities and stuff like that, they are going to be more popular because of the transportation into them. But
again, I wasn't 100 at the time of doing it. What are people searching for as well? Like, that's the other thing. What is the question? Are people saying? Are people searching how to start a podcast? Are people searching for, I would like a podcast studio, or how to start podcasting as cheap as possible? Also, we're specialists in video podcasts. So are they specifically searching video podcasts? Because when we've got podcast competition, there's a lot more competition for us.
Yeah.
If they're searching video podcast, there's not as much competition out there for us.
Yeah.
So have a little look. And then what I did was actually said, okay, where do I need to improve to make me higher rated? And it gave me the answers that I needed. So utilize that part of AI to your advantage. Go Google yourself, see where you come. Are you happy? Go ChatGPT, go OpenAI, which is the same thing. Go AI yourself. Where are you ranking?
Search, yeah.
And then find out why you're not the top and where you need to improve to build yourself up. And it'll tell you that.
Where do you want to be the expert and go all in on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So podcasts, video podcasts, they're amazing.
Do it.
You should do it. And that's...
we need to get you snuggled up at home, don't we, burrito boy?
Yeah, I want to go sleep. But if you are interested in starting a podcast, we have a space that you can hire. So if you know what you want to talk about and you want to just have a space where you can come and film it and be comfortable and just concentrate on getting your content made, this space is here for you. So we look forward to seeing
go
you
and
then.
check out our last episode before this one that was about our
automated system
with your what desk?
My studio deck. I nearly forgot it, but I didn't.
Your studio deck.
My studio deck. But yeah, we'll put a link to that in here so you can find that as well, and you can watch that episode and see how easy it is.
I'm going to get him home now. And say love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Look how bad AI is. Like, we're talking about generic AI comment. The best time to start a podcast was years ago. The second best time is now, before everyone else catches up. My God, we need to fix this AI-fed algorithm.